Hi everyone. I know you've been waiting for this podcast and I thank you for your patience. I know that you were expecting this podcast for months now. And honestly, I thought that by now I'll be sitting in Barbados looking at my completed home. But life had other plans because while trying to build back home from overseas, the deeper we got into the process, the more I realized this wasn't just a construction project. This became a lesson about trust, a lesson about risk, lessons about documentation, and a lesson about what happens when movement starts faster than paperwork. So instead of rushing the story and instead of rushing this podcast, I decided to step into the engine room and look at everything so I can bring you into this journey with me properly. My name is Jackie and this is Building Back Home with Jackie.
Yeah, man, the vision's strong. Building back home where I belong. Ooh, yeah. But every foundation got a story to tell about the unseen cracks and the caution bell. So come walk with me through the sun and the rain. On Jackie's journey, we gon' rise again.
I want to be transparent here. This podcast reflects experiences and perspectives for educational and storytelling purposes only. It is not legal, engineering, financial, or construction advice. Everything that I've shared in this podcast reflects my own personal experiences, my own observations, and my own reflections while trying to build a home from overseas. This series is intended for storytelling, education, and awareness purposes only. Where do we begin? My husband and I are Bajan born and raised in Barbados. I am the daughter of a fisherman and a mother who worked farmland. I with a fork and a hoe. Growing up, life taught me two things very early. Storms will come and survival depends on preparation. My father, along with the fishing village folks, taught me about tides, reefs, rough seas, and navigation. My mother taught me patience, hard work, and how to plant something today that may take months or even years before harvest time. But one day in my mid-20s, and like so many Caribbean people, I left my sweet home of Barbados, the rock, the gem, my land of flying fish and cuckoo and sea eggs and sea cats, white sands and beaches, and where Bajans make you feel like they know you from every sense. And I went searching for opportunity. I migrated to New York. And over the years, I built a life. I built a family. I built a career. And for more than 30 years, I worked in the construction document controls and records management, helping manage massive billion-dollar projects from subways to skyscrapers to roadway infrastructures to airports redevelopment. My job every day became tracking documents, managing approvals, controlling revisions, monitoring communication, while making sure no part of a project drifted outside of the system unnoticed. In the meantime, still keeping the New York public safe with what type of information I could and couldn't share. And yet, with all that experience, nothing prepared me emotionally trying to build my house back in Barbados from thousands of miles. Because when emotions enters construction, logic can quietly leave the room. In every episode, I will tell you about the red flags and the lessons learned from my experience. And at the end of this series, I have a gift for you listeners and you in the diaspora who are building back home. I've created a free downloadable checklist, a survival kit with the red flags to watch out for, the lessons learned, and the construction principles that can help you move smarter and safer while building back home from abroad. The very first red flag for me is believing that professional experience automatically protects you emotionally. Sometimes when we build back home, we stop thinking like project managers. We start thinking like dreamers. And to be honest, dreams can make you move faster than your verification systems. One thing I now understand deeply though, when building from overseas, your paperwork becomes your navigation system. Not promises, not excitement, not verbal reassurances. Documentation, verification, oversight. Because whether you're diving deep, digging dirt, or dealing with data like me, verification, oversight is very important in construction. Those things can become your compass in the stormy waters that you will see as we move forward in this journey. In every episode, I will also reflect on a cultural moment. Along the way, you'll hear me say things in my Bajan slang, using words like going, which means going to, or for true, means for real, that what I'm telling you is the truth. And if I ever tell you for true, believe it twice. It's not a lie. And when pressure hits and things take a turn for the worse, to where it feels like something wrong here, and you feel like it's drifting and you're sinking, then my deep African ancestral tones will come out, where I may say something like, hey, wonders never end. Here's our today's cultural moment. Back home we just say, the sea ain't got no back door. Once you're out there, you're going to learn how to ride the waves. You're going to learn how to dodge the reefs. You will learn how to navigate what come your way. And diaspora life, it just feels the same, don't it? One foot in a foreign or over in a way, and 1 foot back home. Because for truth, we just be trying to build a dream. We just be trying to hold on to that foreign stress while keeping our Caribbean roots alive. Because one thing about the sea, if you don't learn the currents early, pressure can teach you later. And we will see that as we journey. Come and take this journey with me. So for 25 years, our piece of land sat quietly in Barbados, waiting for our retirement, waiting for us to return home, waiting for me to start to build, waiting for a dream to finally begin. And then in October of 2024, my phone buzzed, and it buzzed with a WhatsApp video. A heavy bobcat excavator was clearing our land, dirt flying everywhere, excitement from my husband and I everywhere. But there was one major problem. We hadn't even finalized a contract yet, and that was the first hidden reef beneath the waterline. That was the first time I ever experienced such a feeling. An emotion came over me that combined all of these in one. I was happy, sad, frightened, glad. And you will see throughout that series how that emotion, that combined emotion, was preparing me for the journey ahead. So if you are planning to build locally, or you know someone building from abroad, please, I beg, share this podcast with them, because this story might help someone avoid many mistakes. And please subscribe, like, and follow this flow. Share this podcast with every Caribbean person or Bajan soul wherever they go. Share it in Queens and Brooklyn and every New York borough, from Brixton to Brampton, straight through all in Scarborough. Share it with those to whom we now extend our land, like Belize and Dominica, and the Grenadines too. Tell Guyana and Jamaica, Ghana and Nigeria, because they know what storms can do. Share it with CBC and VOB, and don't put brass tacks on the ear. Let the diaspora hear how we persevere and can repair. From the heart of the country down to the city of Bridgetown Port, this building journey, this in no sport, but we're moving with wisdom so we can stay out of court and navigate this journey with a compass and a forensic report. So to every Bajan and my diaspora family abroad, this podcast is about legacy, lessons, culture, and God. Got something to tell me. See you next episode.
Foreign shores, I bring the vision home. Built a legacy from concrete and from stone. Got the blueprints drawn, the white sands calling me. For the diaspora's children, planting the family tree. Building back home against the Atlantic tide. With Bajan roots and all that island pride. Watch the foundation rise, a brand new dawn in store. This ain't just building houses, it's something so much more. Yeah, it's Jackie and Luke building back home in Barbados.